Everyone, today I want to share with you my program Word Chain Game. This time I'll introduce three parts. The first one is introduction, because vocabulary is the basic units of language and is very important. Many vocabulary learners will have problem in remembering words for a long time or have a slow reaction time to a large number of words. So I want to create this small game to improve learners' familiarity with words and the reaction speed. The second part is the game's overview. The following are some basic rules of the game. First, the computer will give a word randomly. Then the player use the last letter of the random word as the first letter of the new word, like XXX, to continue the game. And then the computer will examine whether it complies with the rules or whether the word is in the computer list. The word list, and the player will use the last letter of the word XXX, the X, as the first letter of the new word, and to continue the game after 10 times. If the player can get 10 words in a row, the game will stop, and it means player wins. But instead, if the player fails to successfully connect within 10 cycles, it will be displayed invalid word, and the game over. This is a program overview. Then I will examine the program in detail. The first part is with open function. With open function is to open a field because like this word field txt, it contains thousands of English words. And the content in the first bracket is the path of the field. Its purpose is to allow the computer to accurately find the target file. And then the parameter R means to opening the field in a read-only mode. Also, the field read and split line function in order to read all the content of the file and divide this string into a row and return a list. This part is to read all rows in the word list file and store each line as an element in word list. In this way, word list contains all words or script in the file, which can be used for subsequent text processing or analysis. The next part is important function, the random function. The important random is the function for telling the computer to use the random select function to select a word from the word list and assigns it to a variable, current word. And the first line is of code use formatted string. Here is F string to print the message that the game begins. The last part is also the core part of the game design. These two lines means that the number of player loops before the game starts is 0, and the maximum number of the loop is 10, which is set to control the number of loop later. Okay, we use the while true loop here. The while true loop is initialize the player's consecutive correct words come to 0. Then the computer will ask the player for an answer, for an input. The computer, after each answer of the player, the computer will check whether it meets the requirements. If it meets the requirements, it means that the player has succeeded once, and if it fails, the game will end. Like this, invalid word, game over. And the program will stop. In this part, the current word equal to play word. This step is to store the successful word that the player just entered into current word and replace the previous variable. Continue to connect the words according to the requirement. The purpose this line. And the purpose of this line is to record the number of correct answers of the player. Each correct answers will increase player streak once. When it reaches 10 times, the loop will stop and the player will win. Otherwise, it will return to the while loop and continue the program until 10th victory. Video will show you how the game works. The computer give a word and I follow the instruction to play this game. Okay, as one can see, after I finish 10 times, it showed that I succeed. Okay, that's what I want to share. Thank you for listening.